everybody. New
Hey.
episode of... Hey. Don't interrupt me. Hey, everybody. New episode of Watch It Out with Jay and MJ. I happen to be Jay.
I'm allowed to say something? Okay, cool. Got the head nod. I'm MJ.
It's not going to go well, you guys. This is not going to end well.
It's one of those days.
Someone's going to have a slit tire. So
You
hi.
can't get to my tires.
Hello.
Oh my god.
I don't like being questioned. I'll find a way. This is the way.
This is the way.
So hi everybody. We were gonna have an episode last week. You guys, life is just not. We were hoping that life wouldn't be like a fucking mess this year, and it kind of is.
Yeah, it's been crazy.
It has been crazy. It's just been a lot of things. So we were just like, we do not want to rush, and we want to we were like, we'll give ourselves a little bit of extra time to really kind of, I'm gonna call it bank some TV shows. Like get really started on some stuff because we hadn't really started watching anything, and because we've been so focused on The Last of Us, so it was kind of like, do I really want to rush and try and watch something in 3.5 days? And we're like, no, let's give ourselves some shit. Let's spread this out a little bit. Let's do a little sprinkle. You know what I mean? Just a little sprinkle.
Well, and we always seem to struggle this time of year. I mean, I think it's a little later in the year normal, but like we always, the first of the year, there's not really any new shows that come out.
Dude, things are popping out like babies.
Like now they are.
Like a lot of stuff is happening at the same time, which kills me. But yes, regardless, your point is mostly correct. So today, you all, we have a new TV party of 3.
Woo!
We are going to briefly discuss History of the World Part 2. But then our review is Paramount Plus / MTV original Wolfpack.
I have a question for you, and I'm going to ask it.
Yes.
Was this show that we're reviewing today chosen because you wanted to watch it, or just because of the Sarah Michelle Gellar?
Just because Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay, fair enough.
What?
That's what I thought.
Sarah Michelle Gellar could literally crush cans in her backyard, and I would be like, yes, please.
You're going to give her ideas for
she's
content.
Like, crunch. I'm like, yes. I would. Did I tell you this? Because Sarah Michelle Gellar had a cookbook for cooking with kids.
Okay.
I have no kids. I famously hate kids. Bought the cookbook. I have it.
I can't with you sometimes.
And then because of that, she came out with a company called Food Stirs.
Okay.
And it's like cool little easy, like a little cool easy baking company. When I tell you that I went to several Targets, Kroger's, Walmart's, and Starbucks to find her mug cakes. Several.
So I'm just gonna
this was years ago, and found them and was like, I'm buying so many of these because Sarah Michelle Gellar's name was attached to it.
I'm just gonna predict it now. I don't think there's gonna be any argument on who we pick for Bae of the Week.
No, there's not. But we'll get to it.
Okay, fair enough.
But I mean, you're not gonna win this conversation.
You don't know who I'm choosing,
huh?
You don't know who I'm gonna choose.
It don't matter who you're going to choose because what I say is going to go in this one, so it doesn't matter. I hope you didn't put a lot of thought into it because, like, that was just wasted brain cells on your part. You should have known. You should have been like, hey, I'm going to sit out of this conversation. It's not my... Look, this is my fight.
SMG is in this show. It's going to be nobody else.
We'll see. Wink, wink.
The knowingly nod.
I have a random question for you.
Okay.
I was thinking about this on the way over here. What did you want to be when you grew up? Have I asked you this before?
I mean, maybe, but I think it was like in a joking way back when we like first got to know each other.
When you were like a child. Like when you were like, I don't know, 10, 11, and you were like, this is what I want to be. What was it? Do you remember?
I mean, I could be the like really like downplay. Like I wasn't allowed to have dreams when I was little. I'm joking.
Jesus Christ. I didn't want to, if you did, and you might not have a thought. You might not.
Did I have an original thought? I don't know. I was that kid who was very influenced by my parents. So my mother was the one who raised me and my brother during the school year for the majority of the year, when we were younger. And she was a pharmacist. So I always leaned towards something medical, doctor, pharmacist as well. But that's what I always leaned towards.
Oh, okay. I thought maybe you had like a thought. Now, I mean, and then that sounded like I'm like, you don't think, no, I just feel like I thought, because I think there are people, I think you ask people this question, there's one of two things. Either somebody immediately knows,
yes,
they're like, I want to be this, or somebody's like, I mean, I guess it was. And
I'm the second.
You're leaning like
Very much the second one.
yeah.
I always I don't know. I just never thought about the future as a kid. I always enjoyed the moment. Like that's just a weird thing to say. Like I enjoyed sitting playing games. I enjoyed having friends. So I was like, that'll come when it comes.
Backdoor brag. I enjoy the moment.
How's it a backdoor brag?
I'm living in the moment. Hanging on a moment here with you. Wait, that's the wrong melody.
I'm not even. Yes,
the full wrong melody.
Wow.
It's fine. Lifehouse isn't that great. Who cares? Do you want to guess what mine was?
Guess.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
An actor.
Yeah.
I could see you do have a flair for the dramatic.
I wanted to. It was weird because I wanted to be an actor for a couple reasons.
Okay.
One, because I was like, I want to be rich.
Mm-hmm.
I think I really enjoyed it, but I've always been an introverted extrovert. Like I was never like the flamboyant, out there kind of guy.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, I grew up in my formative years were in the late 90s.
Yeah.
So you couldn't really be, I was always diminishing myself because I didn't want to be like perceived as not straight.
So
Because it was frightening. But yeah, I always want to be that. I want to be an actor for a long time. I did theater in my shitty high school.
So I honestly thought you were going to say there was another reason, and I'm actually shocked you didn't say it.
What?
I thought you were going to say because you just never saw yourself represented on a TV show.
No, that wasn't that. It was never that deep for me.
Okay. We've had that conversation now.
You know, there's something about me that hasn't changed,
Mm-hmm.
and it is I would like money.
Yes, 100. I get that.
And and I don't know where that came from as a child, but like even at 10 years old, I was like, people are like, what do you mean? I'm like, an actor. They're like, why? I'm like, because they get paid.
If they get
Tons
work,
of money. I mean, afterwards, yeah, but I'm like, because they get money.
mm-hmm.
And it was less about the notoriety. Like, I don't need the notoriety. I don't really care about that. Like, it wasn't even that. It was like, I want to have money. I did enjoy acting when I did it in like middle school and high school. I really kind of stopped midway through high school because when I was in high school, people equated if you were in theater, they were like, if you were in theater, you were gay. Unless you were like a popular boy, like,
and obviously had like conquests.
No,
that people knew
yeah,
about.
I guess so because we had a few seniors in our class or in our drama club or theater class that were like seniors and they were guys, but they were like popular dudes, like where everybody knew them, and it was kind of like, well, of course nobody's gonna think they're gay, but then it was kind of a thing with me where people didn't know me because I did it as a freshman,
Yeah,
and it was kind of like I don't know, and it kind of like shown this kind of weird, and I didn't like that, so I got out of it, like I stopped doing it.
I have to admit, I honestly wish. I wish I would have stuck with some more things in high school. I never did.
Oh, I agree.
I never did plays, but I did what was like, I'm trying to think of the term. It wasn't improv club. It was speech club, where they had
speech club. Why would you want to stick with that? That sounds horrendous.
But they had different categories. So one of them was an improv. So you and a partner would go into it. So like my category, what I did was you would go into a room, and they would give you a prompt. And you had 2.5 minutes to prepare the prompt, and then you had to make a 5-minute scene, and they gave you either had to be serious, dramatic, comedic, and you had to make that.
I don't like stuff like that. I get that. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, so
I don't like stuff like that.
I liked doing that. Some of the other categories, one was called like news. So it was very similar to kind of what Whose Line Is It Anyway would do.
I get you.
But
yeah,
there was one. It was like news reporters, but it wasn't silly. They would give you like a random news report, and they would put random words in there, and you had to sight read it. And it was, and so like without practice, you can't look, like literally they go flip, read, and you don't know what's on the page, and you have to pronounce and go through everything without stumbling.
Oh.
So it was like they tested different things. One was you had to memorize soliloquies or poems, and like you had to recite them, and it'd be like a 3.5-minute soliloquy. And we had this one guy on our team who was great at it. But I wish we did more stuff like that.
I just wish I would have stayed with it because I didn't. I allowed myself to be. I allowed my inner saboteur, to borrow from RuPaul, to like really get in my head, and I was like, the more you do this, the more gay it feels. So you need to like not do it. And I think I felt comfortable with because a lot of the senior guys who were, I think there were a couple of senior guys who were in
Yeah.
theater, and they were great guys. Like they were such nice guys.
Mm-hmm.
And I think when they left, and I felt very uncomfortable because to me, they were kind of giving me that validation without really
Yeah.
giving me that validation. Like I was like, oh, if they could do it, I could do it. And then I think my sophomore year, I think it was like when I saw who was in it, I was like, this is not going to go over well. Like I don't have that. I don't have those people that I
Camaraderie,
can pull from to kind of get that validation, I guess. And I didn't. I like stepped out of it. I was like, I'm not doing it. And then I tried to go back to it in college.
Yeah.
And that was less of a that was more of an insecurity about my
skill.
Yes, because my first class, the first day of class, it was the first class I had. It was like the 10 o'clock Monday morning class. It was an acting class, my freshman year of college.
Oh, that would be fun.
And that first class, everyone was talking about how I had been in theater productions of this at my school, and all these big productions, and I was like that was the first thing we did was like it was like what production have you been in your high school, and I'm like my high school was a very we weren't a poor high school, but we didn't have we had to build our own sets. Like we had to raise money for that kind of stuff.
And I get that.
So I immediately felt insecure. I withdrew the next day. I let myself withdraw from that class. Just a little known fact.
So hot take on education. My school, elementary, middle, and high school, I'm going back and thinking, I don't think my entire school life there was ever a school production put on.
Oh.
So I never had the chance to do that.
We did. We did. Actually, I'm thinking back on some of the ones we did. Some of the ones we did were really fucking fucked up. I remember we had a production of what called it was a 2-parter. It was called Addict / Juvie.
What?
And they were stories about people who were addicts or who were in juvie. And I remember because one of my best friends at the time, her name was Jennifer. She her person. It was a monologue, and she was basically I don't know what her person was. Her person was like really into like psychedelics and like acid or something.
God.
And she was telling us, and a lot of it was telling the story about how you got addicted to this drug and what it did and blah blah blah. But she was like, her character was basically dead, and she was her monologue ended with like, I loved how great this made me feel. It made me feel so high. It made me feel so great that I took my needles and stabbed myself in the eyes. And I'm like, I mean, we're freshmen putting on this production, like some of us were. And I'm like, I think back on that, like, that was fucking frightening.
I'm sorry.
No wonder I never did drugs in high school, because that did it for me.
Excuse me, what? Wow.
It was Addict / Juvie. And the one we did the first semester was called First in Line. I was in like 7 scenes because, it was great. And that one was a little more jaunty, fun, whatever. But those two we did that next semester, I was like, girl, these are some concepts.
See,
we need to move on.
Like I said, I never had the opportunity, and honestly, I never thought about doing it in college, like what you did, because I always got like, this is where my dad comes in. Don't waste your money. Doing a fluff class like that would have been a waste of my college education.
Was a waste of money anyway. To be fair.
Well, okay, we're not getting on that con, but it was don't waste your time. Take only what's necessary. Get out as soon as possible. Spend as least money as possible. Like that was my dad.
I mean, I get that though. That's a good point.
But yeah, so taking I'm not gonna say a fluff class, but a class like acting wouldn't have been something that would have helped in where I was going on my other degree.
It was my major. It was what I was trying to do. So
exactly. So you have the benefits.
I changed the next day. God, I wish I hadn't done that. To be fair. Okay, so TV Party of 3.
Yes.
So you guys. Wolfpack is a Paramount / MTV or MTV / Paramount. Not sure who comes first in this relationship. I don't know who's wearing the pants.
I would assume it's probably MTV, because wasn't the original Teen Wolf on MTV?
Yeah, but this has nothing to do with Teen Wolf. So
it's not a spinoff?
It has nothing to do with Teen Wolf.
Okay, fair enough.
And
I never watched it.
I don't know who the top or the bottom is.
I don't need to know.
Who's eating who? Who knows?
Whoa!
But we decided to, this got us thinking, because at the beginning of Wolfpack, it's like, MTV, that little thing.
Yes.
So we were like, what are our 3 favorite MTV shows?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I get you.
Okay.
Okay, so do you want to start?
I mean, you could start if you want to start.
Okay. I'm gonna start with my controversial one because I know you're gonna
Wanna
dig
be
me.
starting something. Got to be starting something. Wanna be start? Are we allowed to say Michael Jackson on here?
It's gonna go on YouTube, so it might get demonetized if we were actually getting money.
Too high to get over. Yeah, yeah. Too low to get under.
Yeah.
Oh, look at you.
I love
Okay,
Michael
go,
Jackson.
go.
Okay, this is my controversial one that you might dig at me because it's not on MTV, but Emily in Paris. It was made by MTV Entertainment.
That doesn't count.
I
But
knew
okay,
I knew you were gonna say it.
Go ahead. Maybe I just think my choice is a little bit more inspired, and that's not because I think that I'm like the best, but when you know what I think it is.
Yeah.
Here's what I think it is.
Go
I
on.
know that we're not that far apart in age.
Yeah.
But I think my era.
Yeah.
I think you missed my era
I did.
just by like a little bit. So I think
I
that's
did.
why. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so
You like that show? We reviewed that. You didn't even like that show.
I will preface this why I correlate MTV with two things: a, music videos, which I loved, which I can't count as a show.
Why couldn't you count what?
Like I would just watch it all day. Like I wouldn't watch a specific section.
But you wouldn't like TRL.
Okay, well, that's saying so I could do TRL, but like so music or reality shows, and I've never been a reality show guy, so I've never really sat down and watched Jersey Shore.
Okay.
I've never really watched the
it's fine.
House Rules. Like I've never watched any of
But
these.
you don't even like Emily in Paris, or do you?
But it's the fact that I haven't watched anything else to say I've seen it. I don't have a large selection here.
But you could literally have been like, you know what? I only got one. There's only one person at this table with me. There's only one. It's a single one-on-one date. You and me together. You know?
Lack of choices. Emily in Paris, because I'm going through this list that's on currently. I've seen maybe two of them. Maybe.
Okay. Well,
go on. What's your first choice?
my first choice would be Aeon Flux, and this cartoon was like made me feel like I was like watching something edgy. Like I think the first choice people would say would be Beavis and Butthead, but that was never really my bag.
Yeah.
When it was on, I tried. But Aeon Flex was like weird. It was
It looks weird.
The intro had like the eyeball with the lashes and the fly landed on it. Like it was so like stylistically cool and different and just weird and out there. That was a show that I felt like, like I could watch and feel like people like I watch Beavis and Butthead. Like, well, I watch Aeon Flux. Like it was like.
That's your. I'm better than you.
I'm a little
Flex.
more highbrow. Yeah, it was definitely like so. Aeon Flux to me was perfect, which is why I was so annoyed. Even though I love Charlize Theron,
Yeah.
that when they came out the movie, I was like, this isn't what I was thinking it was gonna be.
I can see the little like mouth twitch when you're saying it's like it wasn't that good.
It wasn't what I didn't watch it because I was like, this isn't what I thought this was gonna be.
Mm-mm.
Like I remember Aeon Flux. This is not Aeon Flux.
I didn't know that was based out of a cartoon.
I don't know if it's based on a cartoon. Like I didn't.
Well,
do
I mean, it's literally
research,
on like the top of the page.
This was like early '90s, like mid '90s. So yeah, that's my first one.
Okay, my second one is going to be Ridiculousness.
Okay, I never watched it, but I know what you're talking about.
Well, it's funny because you have. I watch like funny like TV shows. Like I watch Touch Point on Comedy Central and things. So I like people doing goofy.
Oh, that was Comedy Central, wasn't it?
And it was kind of like before TikTok and Reels and Vine were a thing. This was where I think Ridiculousness and Touch. I think this is before. I think this maybe came out right about the same time Vine did. So it's that like funny, quick video.
I gotcha.
So this is where I would go watch my stupid people doing stupid things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Great.
That's all. I was just.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I want to give you time. I want to give you space.
It is at scratch. I mean, it has spin-offs. So it had who played Kelly on Saved by the Bell?
Tiffany Amber Thiessen. Christ.
She has a spin-off of Ridiculousness where it's during the holidays and they're all food themed.
It's deliciousness. I've heard of it.
Yeah, it's okay. Ridiculousness is better.
Okay.
Yeah.
For me,
what's your next highbrow one?
Daria. You guys.
I vaguely remember that's
Quinn,
one.
You're out of the fashion club. Like Daria to me is like Daria, Kevin, Brittany. Like it's too good. Like it was so good. Like Daria to me, like when they brought back Beavis and Butthead, I was like, yeah, I need to bring back Daria. Like Daria was that one who, to me, fight me. But Daria, like this show was definitely inherently queer. Like it like there was no reason it wasn't. Like it definitely was. Like Daria was really kind of like I think it flows with the AL flux. Like it wasn't like super edgy, but it was edgy enough. Like Six That World, that was the whole thing. And the teacher with the bulgy eye, like Daria really was like, to me, quintessential midnight. I think it's better than Beavis and Butthead. Might not be as well known, but definitely better.
I watched like 3 episodes of Daria. I don't remember the show, but I remember the characters.
Yes. Kevy. Oh my God.
That's what I don't remember any of the plot.
I need to start a fashion club. God, that show is so good. Sorry, I love Daria.
So my last one, my third, is going to be Nick Cannon's Wild and Out.
I never watched that either. I'm a horrible black person. I know I am.
It's funny to me. Like
I wasn't saying it was bad. I was just saying it was never a show that I watched.
I will say I've stopped. The new format after COVID hit, it used to be like...
It's still on?
Oh, God, yeah.
Like new episodes?
Yes.
Okay.
It used to be like Red Squad versus Black Squad, and Nick would be the cat. You heard me.
I'm kidding.
But Nick would be the captain of one, and then they had a guest star, normally a singer or celebrity, or sometimes they'd have a regular celebrity. And they always have a guest star who would be a singer.
I've seen it, but
yeah. But now it's like old school versus new school, and all the new people on there, I don't know who they are. I just think they're funny.
So what's the point of the show? You're supposed to punk somebody out?
No, they actually have prompts. Okay.
But I thought it was like jokes. You're supposed to be like, yo, mama's so fat. Like, she sat on a quarter and squeezed a booger out of Joe and watched this nose. I thought that was what it was.
So you know how Whose Line Is It Anyway has like games they play?
I guess.
So they're like scenes from a hat or props, and they have to do something with that as an improv.
Sure.
That's what this is. Like, you'll get a game. So one of them that's on right now, which is actually kind of the funniest one, is like Hood Jeopardy. And like your answers are like things that would make a gangster cry. And you have to go make something funny of what would make a gangster cry.
Oh, okay.
So like you get prompts, but the newer ones aren't as good. The old ones I thought were funny.
I feel like I saw a few of it when I was younger, but I think that was like, I feel like when this show came out, I was out of my MTV era. I think TRL was on the way out or out.
Yeah.
And I was like FMTV. So I think I was like out of that area. And I think they were really kind of leaning into the 16 and pregnants, and they were leaning into
which I just never
the teen moms. Like they were really leaning way heavily into that.
Catfishes.
And I think that's when I like cut the cord.
So, and this is where his show, Nick Cannon's show, only really came on at night. So it was one of those things like, okay, nothing else is on. I'm going through MTV's no longer playing music videos. They've moved on to shows. That would always be on.
Okay, I get you. For me, my third would be Undressed. Oh my God, I loved Undressed.
You have some of these strangest picks.
Like Undressed, I believe, if I'm correct, Undressed started in Britain. Or it was or it was a British creator, or both. I'm not sure which.
Okay.
But Undressed was like the first. It made me feel naughty because it was on. It came out like 1999, and it would come on late at night. Like it came out like 10:30, 11. And I believe it even had like, it was one of the first time I think I'd seen like a gay character that was youngish on TV,
like 20 something. What's youngish?
Like I think they were college kids.
Okay.
Or someone. I think it was the first time I'd see something like that, like in a TV show with someone around my age.
I'm gonna look this up.
Where I was like, oh, and it made me feel like I was watching something like tawdry. like I was like, oh, but yeah, Undressed was cool. Apparently, Pedro Pascal was in an episode of Undressed way back in the day.
I
probably watched the episode.
You sit here and you said you were cutting your cord. Like it was from 1999 to 2002. That's a pretty late.
I'm saying like, but when Wild Now came out, probably 2005.
Let me look it up.
And that's when I was like, Undressed was like the last real thing. But I graduated high school. When I say I cut the cord like in college was when I was like, MTV isn't really my thing.
Mm-hmm.
And that was around.
You guessed that.
Told you.
All right, cool.
Told you.
So this is like one of the last things you would have watched on MTV.
Me, please? What was the tagline for it?
I just keep going. Talk about your love of it.
I don't remember any of the episodes, to be fair, but I was like, when we talked about, when we said this, my brain went, ooh, Undressed. And I was like, I remember Undressed. I loved Undressed. And it was just like, I mean, I don't know. It was probably really horribly acted. I don't even know who was in this show. Like, who are some of the actors? Can you find any of them?
Yeah. Sarah Delane,
I don't know who that is.
Scott Ham,
Find a name
Dennis.
we know.
Bu-
No one we know. None of these people are working right now. Okay, cool. What's the tagline?
I didn't see one on there.
It's this anthology series.
Oh, examines the diverse sexual relationships involving the different genders, races, sexual orientations, and fetishes of high schoolers, college students, and post-college roommates. That is a very long sentence.
It is a large span.
It is. That was one sentence. There was literally nothing but comments.
But it was good. It was a good sentence. Yes, Undressed did it for me. Like, I loved it. It was just the first show that really kind of showed stuff like that.
Average rating 6.3.
Yeah, I'm not saying it was great. I'm not saying it was greatly acted.
I'm not gonna go back and watch that.
I'm not saying it was acting gold. What I'm saying is,
there's not an actor you know of in this show.
Pedro Pascal was in it.
Okay, but not a common like.
He was in it.
Fine, fair enough.
I mean, you might be asking, if this was 1999 and 2002, how did I recall that Pedro Pascal was in the exact season 4, episode 1 episode playing Eddie of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which
TikTok.
also aired in 2001.
But Buffy's your favorite show.
Exactly. That's the reason why.
I was going to say, like, you can't use an argument because Buffy was your favorite show. You could tell me lines from episodes. I could name an episode right now. You could probably tell me the title.
Season 4 gets a little messy. Ooh! Okay, do one. I'm going to fail.
Hold on, let me bring it up so I can make sure you're right.
I'm going to be right. Pick a season and episode title.
Season 6?
Shit.
Episode.
I'm not gonna know it.
Episode 8.
I don't know that one. That one I don't know. It gets a little dicey in season 6. Season 4 and season 6 are my worst seasons.
I can't give you one. Like, give me one I'm good at. Like, no.
I'm not the best at all the other ones, but give me an episode.
Okay. I'm gonna randomly pick season. I'll do season 5. Episode. They don't have these numbered. Crap. Okay, here we go. Episode 11.
Fuck. Is there like a photo? Like a picture?
But it has a name right next to it.
Cover up the name and show me the photo.
It's Xander and 2 girls. He's between 2 women, 2 older women.
2 older women? Those are not older women. That is Willow and Anya. Will you get your shit together, please? Okay, read me the tagline.
While Giles is in England meeting
Giles
is in England meeting with the Watcher Council, a bickering Anya and Willow mine the magic store and inadvertently conjure up a fearsome troll.
I know this episode, but I don't know what it's called.
You could try.
It's not Tabula Rasa, because that's the one where Tara. That's like later in the season, because that's the one that Amy Adams comes in. Tabula Rasa, isn't that in season 5? Scroll through. It's like late in the season.
I don't see it.
I think it is in season 5. That has to be season 5.
What's the name?
Tabula Rasa or Tabula something.
Are we proving that he's not the Buffy know-it-all?
Okay, if it's season 1 is Welcome to the Hellmouth, part 1 and 2. Go to season 1.
By the way,
we're done with this, but I'm just saying.
The name of the episode was Triangle.
Because it was a love triangle, because I believe Anya dated a troll when she was a demon. Or no, when she was like way back before she became a demon. Go to season 1. I can tell you season 1. I can tell you most of those.
Okay.
So are you season 1?
Yes.
Okay. Episode 1, Welcome to Hellmouth Part 1. Episode 2, Welcome to Hellmouth Part 2.
No.
What?
No.
What is episode 2 then?
The Harvest.
They were shown together. It's the same thing. Episode 3 is The Witch.
Just Witch.
You know what? He's gonna fucking. That's 2 tires. That's 2 tires.
Keep it going.
That's 2 tires. The Witch. Episode 4 was The Pack.
Nope.
Episode 5 was The Pack.
Nope.
Episode 6 was The Pack.
Yes.
Episode 4 was. What's the tagline?
Buffy's biology teacher is killed by a giant praying mantis that assumes.
Oh my God! This is the one where Xander falls in love with his teacher. She's a big praying mantis lady, and I don't know the name of this episode, but I know what it is.
Teacher's Pet.
It was Teacher's Pet because that's what Xander was Teacher's Pet. Number 5 tagline.
With Buffy preoccupied by her dates with Owen, Giles is trapped
Oh
by
my god, first date. Or
No.
How to Kill a Boy on the First Date.
Never kill a boy on the first date.
Same thing.
Okay.
And then 6 was
Pack.
the Pack.
Yeah.
7 is probably like I, Robot Eugene.
No.
Is this the one where
It's one word.
Is this the one where there's that guy that's dating Joyce?
Doesn't say in the description.
What does the description say?
Buffy discovers Angel's dark secret and hesitates.
This was called Darla.
No.
It's just called Angel.
Yep. You're really
proving my point.
You are really bad at this game.
I know. It's just Angel. And then episode 8 is
You've already said it.
I, Robot Eugene.
That is it.
I didn't love that one. And then episode 9 was I'm gonna get a tagline for it. I know.
Buffy suspects that a ventriloquist dummy may be harvesting organs from classmates performing a talent show.
This one was creepy, but I don't remember the name of it.
The puppet show.
Yeah. Episode 10 was... I get season 2 and season 1 mixed up because episode 10 to me feels like... This is the one I think has Claire Duvall in it where the girl goes invisible because nobody really sees her.
It doesn't... Based on the title and the description, doesn't sound right.
I know. This is episode 10, right? What's the description?
A series of strange occurrences lead Buffy and her friends to discover that their worst nightmares have literally become reality.
Oh, it's probably just called Nightmares.
It is. Exactly.
And then 11, right?
Yeah.
11 is... the episode before the penultimate episode is always something random. So this one's probably like the one about the invisible girl.
It is.
I just can't remember what it's called.
Out of mind, out of sight.
Yep, out of mind, out of sight. And then episode 12 is Prophecy Girl.
Yeah. By the way, you got, I think, 4. I think you got 4. And one of them you named the pack on 3 different episodes.
I couldn't remember the order. Season 2 I'm better at. Let's do season 2.
I'm a Buffy super fan. I know all the titles. I gave you...
If we played the episode, I could walk you through the whole fucking episode.
I get that.
We should have done differently. You should have given me the title, and then I could explain what the episode was.
But I won't know if that's true or not because I've never seen the show.
The description.
Okay.
All right, you guys. Stay tuned for this week's review. Shit.
Hey everybody, welcome back. Today we are taking a look at Paramount/MTV original Wolfpack.
Before we do this, while we took a small little break and we went through season 2, and while I will admit that the titles, yeah, but when you switched to, hey, here is the title of the episode,
yeah,
how many did I get?
I will give you if you switch. So when I was just having you guess the title in order, you did poorly.
Right.
When I did title and you had to give me the description, you were 95%. There was one you missed.
There was one that you said I almost got word for word.
You literally verbatim the description of what was on IMDb.
Yeah, like I mean, they're like obviously there was just to give you one example, there was one that was called Ink and Mummy Girl. And I was like, well, it's the one with the Ink and Mummy Girl. And he was like, but I'm like, that's what it was. Like she came and she was sucking the life out of people.
Well, it's like, okay, you've never watched Friends, but the way they name their titles is the one with the Thanksgiving Day parade.
Well, yeah,
and I'm like, that's the one with the Thanksgiving Day parade.
But it was the one with the Ink and Mummy Girl because she was there and she was sucking the life out of people. Like, what else do you need to know?
Maybe more of why she's doing it, how she came back, who she killed. I don't know.
The next one was Reptile Boy. I should have been like, that's the one with the boy who's the reptile. Like, that's the one I got word for word, right?
I think that was the one.
Like Buffy Cordelia go to a frat party.
Yeah,
blah, blah, blah,
exactly.
Blah, blah.
Yes.
Yeah, you're welcome. So I do better with descriptions, but it doesn't matter. It's fine. So yes, Wolfpack. You guys. I don't know if this is connected to Teen Wolf. I really don't. I just know they were both made by MTV.
Okay, because I thought it was made. Let me go to the description. Give me 1 second. Let me get back up here.
So I don't know. It might be the same creators. I do know it's based off of a book.
Okay, so the description of the show: a teenage boy and girl get their lives changed forever when a California wildfire awakens a terrifying supernatural creature. As the full moon rises, all teens come together to unravel the secret and
the secret that connects them.
Yes,
connects. So let's go through cast and crew. Top number 1 on the list, and you know what? She might not have been top billed, but I consider in the
yeah.
To me, top billed to me,
Go on.
I know in the industry, I don't think it means this, but top billed, they say it's the first person who is listed
Which is
in the credits,
which is Armani Jackson.
which is Armani Jackson, who plays
Everett Lang.
Everett Lang. And but to me, I think top build is where it's like this person, this person, this person with and if you're an and, you're a top bill. And it was and the last name, Sarah Michelle Gellar. So let's start with Sarah Michelle Gellar. Sarah Michelle Gellar plays Kristen Ramsey. I'm sorry, I took this over from you. Thank you.
Which is literally goes by Ramsey. She never goes by Kristen.
Right.
Yeah.
But her name is Kristen Ramsey. She's an arson investigator. She is, serving hand on gun with hip all the time.
I'm just gonna
She
sit back
is
and let you
giving
do this rock.
black
Let's
tank
go.
top, hair. She's giving like cool jacket with arson investigator and blazers on the back.
You're just
She
naming
is
things she was
boss
wearing.
Bitch. She's like, hey, you. We don't give a shit. Sit down. Leave that kid alone. She is barking orders. She is
Barking.
doing all kinds of
Clever.
stuff. What?
Barking orders.
She's barking orders. She's got the flashlight. She's got the gun with the. Too much. But we all know who Sarah Michelle Gellar is, from classics as All My Children.
I forgot she was in that.
She won an Emmy Award for that. Daytime Emmy.
I forgot about that.
You're welcome. Swan's Crossing.
Yeah.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
And we're finally there.
The good ones. The funny ones. It was a show with Robin Williams.
Oh, the good ones.
Yeah, I think it was. Ringer. Come on.
Let's go to movies.
Movies. Cruel Intentions.
Boom.
Perfect. Serendipity. Not a great movie, but I love it. The Grudge. Scooby-Doo 1 and 2. Let's see.
I'm waiting for you to name it. How do you not?
Helen.
No.
Helen. With the blonde hair and the Helen.
I know what you did last summer.
That's where she was playing Helen.
That's the one I was waiting for.
I
you
know
to
you
name.
last summer.
Yep.
Like, we know her.
Yeah.
Y'all know her. Get on board with her if you're not. Okay, you can take everybody else. I'm spent.
Whew, let me catch my breath.
I
here.
mean, did you see the photo, the picture of her just walking through the wildfire? I mean, come on, bitch.
I mean, it's literally
She's just walking through the fire.
like the only other variation of that is the one where the next person I'm going to talk about is behind her, but she
And
is
he didn't be there. She's still in the show.
All right. So next character who I'm just going to go because I think these are probably the two best actors in the show is Rodrigo Santoro, who plays
What?
Garrett.
Sorry?
Rodrigo Santoro.
Rodrigo Santoro. Rodrigo Santoro. He plays.
He plays Garrett Briggs.
He good, y'all. He cute.
He
He can get it.
I was not expecting him to be in this as much. I thought the way they were setting it up that he was going to be like a plot point that propels his kids in there. I thought he was going to be like a throwaway character gone in 3 episodes.
I get that. I get what you could get from that.
Yeah.
But he's I don't know what Rodrigo has been in.
I didn't recognize
He has
anything.
recently starred in my dreams.
He was in 300, but
Really?
he was Xerxes.
He was in Westworld.
That's why I don't remember who Hector is.
He was in West. Yes, I remember who Hector was in Westworld. Yes, that was him.
I don't remember Hector.
He was good. He was good.
And
I
I've
want to say it
never-
was season 2.
And I've never seen Love Actually.
It was a long time ago.
Yeah, I've never seen. And I never watched Lost. We've discussed that
I remember
previously.
him in Lost, but I could picture him in Westworld. He was in Westworld.
I'll have to go back and see.
But Garrett is a fire marshal. No, he's not a fire marshal. He's a conservationist. Park ranger.
Yep.
He's a park ranger. And and he has like 2 kids. Adopted children who are Luna Briggs, played by Chloe Rose Robertson. And we have and Harlan Briggs, who's played by Tyler Lawrence Gray. What's with these names?
You salivated a little bit when you said Harlan.
I don't think he was the cutest guy in the show, though.
I was going to ask you that because, okay.
I think it's the hair.
I'm just going to openly admit this here. This is one of those shows where, like you've been saying, give us shows where teenagers look like teenagers.
They do kind of.
They look like teenagers, but this is one of those ones where you want me to believe that every person in this high school is objectively hot.
Like hot.
Yeah. Like, no. Not believable.
I mean, there's a couple kids that are kind of like whatever, like that Austin kid.
He's still attractive.
I don't think he was hot, but like
even Phoebe's okay, and Phoebe is not like hot, but she's still appealing.
She's really good looking. Everybody in the school is good looking.
Yeah,
except for like, I mean, honestly, objectively, was ever good looking? I mean, I guess later. I hate his hair. I'm a hair guy.
I think Everett was cute. I mean, after he was like, look at my abs, and like he had the body.
Yeah, I guess so.
But I like
yes,
Blake.
But see, let me clarify, because the thing is, you're right. I'm like, give us teenagers who look like teenagers, but
Yeah.
also my thought of that was give us teenagers who look like teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
My brain is saying not necessarily the age, but they look like a teenager would look. And
Okay.
a teenager doesn't have flawless fucking skin.
These look like, if you could possibly place them, these look like freshmen, sophomores in college.
Yeah, it looks like it was cast by CW.
100% it does.
But to be fair, if I look at like,
Mm-hmm.
I know they're not connected, but Teen Wolf,
Yeah.
Tyler Posey was objectively cute. Dylan O'Brien was cute. But see, I still they were like two normal guys to me though. They were attractive, but they were like normal.
But that's it. Like these, like everybody was stunning.
All of them were.
Everybody.
So obviously we mentioned Armani Jackson plays Everett Lang. He's kind of like, I don't say our main character, but mostly
He's kind of where the party gets started. He brings everybody kind of together. In my mind.
So right now he's like there was anxiety. He's taking pills for that, and he's just really a quiet. He's a quiet kid.
Well, because you find out very quickly, because the first thing you see is he's talking to his shrink or psychiatrist.
Yeah, so he has therapy.
He does yoga and breathing techniques and has countless pills and sleeping pills.
Yeah.
Because he makes a very strong point. There is a difference between a panic attack and an anxiety attack.
Mm.
And he definitely has anxiety.
Yeah. And then after him, we have
Blake, who is... I have a question, and
Blake Navarro.
Yeah.
She's played by Bella Shepherd.
So
she's kind of painted at the beginning as like the outcast. Like she's painted as like the kind of like
grungy.
Yes, I was gonna say alternative, but yeah, like she's that's her character that they kind of like throw her in as.
How did Everett's mom describe her like later in the season when she sees them together in the house? She's like, "Oh, is that the girl you like?" She seems a little, I forget the word.
Rough running edges, probably.
Pretty much, yeah.
But she so that's who she is. And then we touched on Luna and Harlan. And Luna is basically just kind of like we learn a little bit later that she's like shy. I'm like, she's fucking gorgeous, but she's shy.
She's beautiful,
she
but
keeps to herself.
She's the artsy. Like, okay, and I'm gonna say this.
What kind of artsy girl dresses like her? She ain't got no paint on her overalls or nothing.
You have played the new Hogwarts Legacy game.
Yeah.
She is the herbology teacher, the cute end of like the.
But
earthy,
she's not cute. She's objectively hot.
Oh yeah, because like she is that. Like I like to draw. I have plants everywhere. I like to have it open to the world.
But she walk around here with a bralette on. Like
it's fine.
Okay, but yeah,
I'm not knocking the choices.
No, I'm not saying anything wrong with that. But they make mention a couple of times like that she doesn't have a lot of friends, and I'm like, how? Like, but whatever.
Maybe she's too pretty, and people are put off by it.
That's dumb. Because they're all fucking pretty.
But I will say, like to your point, she was
this type of pretty girl.
She was the one you said you felt like had a filter on the whole time.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about. Like I think her makeup was just so flawlessly done to where it made her look painted, because you could tell when they had like establishing shots and you saw like her face versus her clavicle area. This was obviously a different color. They didn't carry it down.
So they didn't do her makeup right.
They did her makeup so flawlessly on her face.
If it was flawless, they would carry it down.
But like this was more
like it was moving.
This was more red, and this was like literally like no pores, smooth skin, like flawless.
And then and Harlan is her brother.
Yeah. And
Harlan is just like Harlan's like the party guy. Like he's kind of like the not necessarily like
I'm gonna say the rebel.
I don't know if I would go. I guess for lack of a better term for me, I could go rebel.
Yeah.
He's also gay, homosexual.
He's very proud about it too.
I don't know if I would say proud.
He doesn't shy away from it. Let's put it that way.
I think my statement, and let me know if you agree. It wasn't that he didn't shy away from it. It's just that nobody cared.
I could see that.
Like nobody was like, "Oh, he's gay." Oh, wow. Like, or nobody felt the need to say, "Oh, he's gay," or "Oh, you're like." I feel like there's always if there's that one gay character, we've got to have that conversation where everybody's got to say, "Oh, you're gay," blah 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 blah, and he's got to do something about it. But it's almost like it didn't even. It was just there. It didn't really matter.
And okay, so here's the thing. I'm not gonna say they shoved it like they didn't shove it down your throat, but they made it very apparent like he's the gay one. But also, what was with all like the more objectively hot guys were also bi-curious or gay? Like
not all of them, not the drug dealer.
I thought he was.
No.
Oh. Then who was the guy they were
He didn't like labels.
That's what it was. Gotcha.
I don't like labels.
Okay.
Maybe he goes to a gay gym. So, So we have other characters, but those 6 are really the heart
The ones that really matter.
of the show. But we're going to try and discuss this without like really spoiling it, because this show does have some twists.
It does.
So it starts out like the biggest thing we start out is that there's California wildfires,
Yes,
obviously,
exactly.
and they are getting very close to the city.
Mm-hmm.
But while Everett and Blake, and I don't think Luna and Harlan are there.
They're not. They have their own car. So like it was a school bus taking them to school. So it was
Right.
Everett, Blake, the ones we mentioned
And a few
earlier,
other
Austin,
kids.
Phoebe. All those kids are on the bus.
And as they're sitting there, they're seeing like the smoke, and they see all these animals come running out of the forest. Like some of them are on fire, some of them are whatever, and some of them they're running into cars and everything. Like they're hitting cars.
Well, so traffic stopped because of the wildfires. People are literally leaving their cars on the freeway, and the kids are practically trapped.
Right. So when a lot of the kids get out of the bus to try and like run away.
Mm-hmm.
And this is where we kind of see our titular monster.
Yes.
Ripping,
Well,
we know there's a presence of something like that.
Exactly.
Because there are people who are doing the quintessential I'm on the ground, and then our characters looking at them like, oh no, what's happening? And then they're like, help me, and then their body flies across the pavement.
Yeah.
Obviously being yanked by something. It's a lot of that.
Yeah, but with the smoke from the
a lot of,
fire,
like,
so you can't
gurs.
see exactly,
Grr.
or scratch marks.
Arg. You watch Buffy, you know what that was.
I don't. So I mean, I went to Hotel Transylvania.
It's the production thing at the end. It's like arg.
Oh, okay. I know what you're talking about now.
Bad robot. That's another one. But yes, so this is where we really kind of understand, like, Everett gets like picked up by this monster.
Well, so yeah, Austin's like run, and then it like goes after Everett,
All right, so he gets scratched or what have you.
bitten on the shoulder,
And then we also learn later that Bella also gets scratched or
right here on
bitten
the back,
or
like down her. Like she got bit hard.
so. This is obviously the start of we know werewolves. We know you get bitten, twice bitten. Wait, once bitten and twice shy.
I don't know.
Is that last Christmas? I don't know. But
Whatever, go.
they both got bit.
Yep.
And shit. And this is where it starts the whole transformation. We know how stuff like that happens. They
Yep.
both start figuring out, like, Everett's like, oh my God, I feel a little weird. He raises his shirt up, and all of a sudden he's got 8-pack abs. He's like, where did those come from?
And he's like, oh, it looks like I put on 20 pounds of muscle. And she's like, oh, great. And he goes, no, it literally looks like 20 pounds of muscle.
Yeah. And then Blake has she has acne.
Mm-hmm.
So her acne clears up all of a sudden,
Which is not a very, like, did her hair change color? I feel like it got more blonde or like longer. Like, I feel like something with
Getting
her
bit by a
hair.
werewolf gives you automatic highlights.
I thought
and
something with her
lowlights.
hair. Yeah, like something changed.
It also changes your wardrobe.
Okay.
If you didn't know.
Okay, you brought it up.
I'm kidding.
No,
I don't know.
You brought it up. I'm going to make a comment here. So, like you said, this is the first episode. Everybody's kind of in a rush to get out because the fires are coming towards their houses. After the whole freeway scene, we see Blake go back to her house because of her dad. And her dad's like, pack a bag. We're leaving. So she packs one bag. And then their house burns down. So all of her possessions she didn't bring are gone. That girl had 18 different outfits and never once repeated a piece of clothing in one backpack.
She's wearing bralettes.
How do you have 4 jackets, 3 pairs of jean shorts, 2 pairs of jeans, a couple sweats, like in one bag?
Here's one thing I need TV shows to get right. Whether it's a great TV show, a bad TV show, a movie, what have you. Here's what I need them to get right. In a show or a movie where they say, we're in a hurry,
Yeah.
pack a bag.
Yeah.
Packing a bag takes a lot longer than a minute or two.
It does.
Number one, because a show we're going to review in a couple weeks did this. They were like, pack a bag. And she was like, I'll be back in 5 minutes. I was like, 5 minutes?
I could
To
do
pack
it.
a bag?
I could, if you gave me 5 minutes to pack a bag, I
With
could.
no details.
Yeah.
Like, hey, do you want to go away with me? Sure. Pack a bag. How many days? What's the event? Like,
Look.
are formal, semi-formal, casual?
I could do it.
Are we going to a beach? Without any details?
Yeah.
If somebody just came to you and said, somebody came to your door and said, hey, let's go away, go pack a bag.
So, okay, my only
With
restriction.
no questions.
My only question I would have, what size bag?
That's not a good question because you don't even know where we're going.
But again, if I'm packing in a backpack, okay, it's a little harder. If you give me a duffel bag, I'm throwing in 6 pairs of underwear for pretty much a week.
But you don't know where you're going. So are you packing shorts? Are you packing jeans? Are you packing sweaters?
Yes.
That's dumb. That's stupid.
He's
trying to be funny right now, but that's not how that shit works. You're gonna make me angry.
I'm pulling a pair of shorts, 1 pair of jeans, a pair of swim trunks, like 4 t-shirts, maybe a button down and a sweater, and I have 16 outfits.
We're gonna get off this because I'm gonna get angry about it because he's trying to act like that's not an issue, but it is definitely a problem.
I don't have 52 pairs of shoes.
And movies.
I don't have 52 pairs of shoes I had to choose from.
Because I saw another show today that I was watching where he said, pack a bag.
Okay.
And he said, pack a bag for a few days.
Okay.
And I was like, cool, that's enough thing. But what's going on is like, where they were was in his apartment. She's never been there. And I'm like, pack a bag of what? Where do I get a bag? Like, what are you doing?
Fair enough.
And
yes.
she changes clothes. Yeah. She grabs one shirt.
Oh my God.
1 pair of pants and a jacket. And that's it. He said pack for a couple days. And to be fair, it's not her closet, but still. But it was also weird. It's like an episode later, they do it's weird. It's like they're kind of course correct because later he's like, we need to go buy you some more clothes. And I'm like, yes, you need to go buy her some more fucking clothes. And then later that episode, he's like, we need to find you some shoes because she was wearing like slippers. And I'm like, okay, they're trying to course correct for the bag situation.
Fair enough.
This is fine. Sorry. Let's go ahead. We can move.
But yeah, that's my comment. Like she packed a backpack, which at most carries like 5 things.
Yeah, whatever. No, I mean, I didn't notice.
But she had a full wardrobe for like 2 weeks straight of clothes, and they all burnt. But neither here nor there.
But so this is where they're bitten, and they're kind of being stalked by the monster that bit them as well.
Yeah.
So they find out very quickly that they're being stalked by this monster. They don't know if they're like, are we getting killed? Are we not? What's happening there? But amidst all this, they bring in an arson investigator in Detective Ramsey.
Yeah.
And she is your hard ass, like,
but fair.
Okay. I don't think she was fair, but
okay, she's not the dick
if
Lang was.
If she wasn't Sarah Michelle Gellar, I would hate this character to a point. I would. I'd be like, I don't like the way she looking at everybody like that. Like she is very much like calculated, eye contact, smirks, and the random comment that could get you caught up, like.
But like Officer Jang was that asshole who came in and was like abrasive, and
he was the hard ass.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so she was hard and knew what she wanted, but she was fair and like accepting. Like I trust you. Blah 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 blah.
Trust you.
Like she would talk to Blake, and Blake was like, "I'll answer questions. I'll tell you what you want." She goes, "I believe you." Like she would. I get that. I think I don't know if my brain wouldn't say fair. My brain would say. My brain goes calculated because Officer Jang was a dick. Oh,
and when you talk to teenagers and you're a dick, what do you get out of them? Nothing.
They shut down.
And
or get spicy back.
Right. And Detective Ramsey's like, there are ways to get the information we need. Mm-hmm. I can be calculated and deceitful or whatever, but what I'm not going to do is be aggressive with a teenager because that's actually no, you're right, because when that one cop got really aggressive with Harlan, she was like, no, we don't do that.
Yeah, she's the fair, like she's hard but fair.
So you're right, I get you. I'm with you. Sorry, it took a long. Sometimes it takes me a while to get there. Okay,
I let you just take your path.
Sometimes it takes me a while to get there.
I got there a little quicker than you. It's fine.
It's really difficult for us to really discuss this show because there really are a lot of twists past, like when you get past like episode 3, 4, there are really some twists. Well, there's some twists that really kind of shocked me.
Well, and I don't think it's a spoiler. So the brass tacks here. So you have Bella and you have Blake and Everett who are turned into werewolves. And then you have Luna and Harlan, who were born werewolves.
Yes, they were born werewolves. Yes. And then we see this in the first episode. Garrett there was another big, huge wildfire 17 years ago, and Garrett was one of the park rangers out there, and he finds these 2 wolf cubs. Yep. And takes them home, and then realizes that they're people. Yeah. And ends up adopting them and keeping them. Yep.
But that
Can
forms.
I keep you? Do you know what that's from?
Can I keep you?
Casper, circa 1996. Christina Ricci, Devin Sawa. You're welcome.
I turned the sound off on this. I don't know.
But yes, so.
But that forms the quintessential pack of the wolf pack.
Right. So our questions really are that. So what we're after like episodes 1 and 2, the questions we're saying are like, what does this big werewolf character want?
Exactly.
What is it doing? Is it like who is it? Who started the fires? We didn't start the fire.
Well, and that's where Ramsey, she believes
You're not
100%.
putting it in
I
my
sang
fun-
that yesterday.
My fun things. Could you finish the next line?
Nobody
Nobody can. Nobody can.
That's all I know.
Nobody can. No one can.
But Ramsey, she has said on that it was started. It wasn't an accident.
Correct.
And it was a student, and they reveal how they know it's a student later.
But yeah, so those are our questions.
Yeah.
Who's the werewolf?
Mm-hmm.
Why the werewolf?
Exactly.
What's happening to Bella and Everett?
Mm-hmm.
How do they connect to Luna and Harlan?
Sorry, Blake. And I didn't say anything. It's Blake played by Bella. So I've called her Bella twice.
And then I get the other questions really are like, I guess those are really it because this werewolf we find later is killing people every single night. So that's where the whole who is this werewolf and where are these people going? So there's a lot of stuff around that.
And the only thing, and it's not like a spoiler, but he's killing people related to or that have interacted with the pack. So it's like someone who wronged Everett, someone who pissed off Blake. Like it's
but see, I don't think that's correct.
His dog.
I think to a certain point, but I don't think that's always it.
That's what they alluded to. It was always something that was harmful
Because
or a danger to the pack.
There's one person who was. Wait, I think they explain what that person was. I'll talk about it later.
Okay.
There were. I guess it's not really a spoiler because they do. There is one kid that was bitten.
Mm-hmm.
But I believe this kid was injured as well. This kid had like a broken leg.
Yeah.
And I believe that one was one of the ones that was killed because we never see the body.
His body's missing. They never claim where it was.
But like it's almost like wild animals will sacrifice that wounded.
They will
sacrifice their wounded because it's like
he's gonna hurt the pack in some way, so they either kill him or leave him off on his own to die.
Right. So I believe that's where my brain was going with that.
Yeah.
Because that was the one.
But
yeah, so that is a lot of what the show goes. So for me, like honestly, and even if Michelle Gellar wasn't in this, there would be some slim pickings of Ray of the Week because some of the acting really isn't great.
Yeah.
I think out of the 4 kids, I think Harlan had the best acting.
I went back between Harlan and Everett.
I don't think Everett was good. I don't think he was bad.
I think Everett was I picked because he had the most change. He went from being like the one who would be super quiet and had the anxiety to once he realized what he was becoming, he kind of grew into it. He's growing into his own and he got more of a backbone and stood up for himself and kind of like knew what he wanted.
See, I thought Tyler Lawrence Gray was better. He was a little angsty, but he didn't make me angry. He was very charming.
I will admit that. Yeah.
I just thought he was the best. I would say that Everett is a second, but the kids acting like the first 2 episodes, guys, it's rough.
I will say the one that did it for me, and when I think it was like episode 4, was the one in the parking garage where Blake is like running through screaming for her brother, and she's like that
she
one.
Sucks.
When like and she runs up to the top of the roof and she's like, "Daddy!"
Yeah, I'm like, what is that?
But then Luna comes in, she goes, "You didn't scream, you howled."
Yeah, they were definitely dragging it. So regardless of if Michelle Gellar was in this or not, the top 2 actors in this would have been Michelle Gellar and Rodrigo Santoro.
I agree.
But we all know who Bay of the Week really is.
Sorry, it's your Bay of the Week. Hit the button.
We know it's SMG. We know it's Michelle Gellar. We know that she brought it. We know, like, I actually think that here's what I knew she was Bay of the Week, you guys. Here's when I knew.
When you heard she was in the show?
No. Here's what I knew she was Bay of the Week. When I watched episode 1.
Yes.
And she came on screen.
Okay.
For the first time, her first scene. And I literally smiled.
Oh my God.
Like she hadn't even said anything.
I don't deny that. I have no doubt that you did that.
She said nothing. She came on the screen and I was like, I'm just so excited.
You are the biggest fangirl for S&G.
You know what? I always liked Michelle Gellar, but I didn't realize that I was that big of a fangirl until that exact moment. I was
you really are.
I really love her. Like she just seems so cool.
How did you like the way you talk about Buffy and the things you have told me over the years? If you had given me, if you sat here and told me, okay, pick one person, out like on a random day, it's like pull me aside, pick one person who's my biggest fan, I would have never hesitated and said Sarah Michelle Gellar.
But see, Buffy's different. Like, I love Buffy. Like,
Yeah.
Buffy's a TV show. Buffy's Buffy.
But you quote Cruel Intentions. Like, I could have told you Sarah Michelle Gellar in a heartbeat.
I'm in my Catherine era.
Yes.
You know what the Catherine era is?
I don't remember which one Catherine is. Is that her?
That's her. Actually, I don't have a brother. If I'm in my Catherine era, that means I'm in my I want to sleep with my stepbrother era. Yeah, it's Ryan Philippi. But yeah, but let me ask you. Now you can give your opinion.
Okay.
Who would you have said if it wasn't Sarah Michelle Gellar?
If it wasn't Sarah Michelle Gellar,
No. Wait. No, not if it wasn't. Who would you? Who is your choice?
Oh, it was Sarah Michelle Gellar. Like there was you. I said you don't have a. There was no choice there. Like I was coyly like trying to play. I was like, no, she was the best one in the entire show.
Yeah. Oh, she was. So good.
If she was not here though,
it would have been Rodrigo.
It would have been Garrett for sure. Yeah.
Like he's got undercover arms. Like, you know, we're like
he has like the chest too. Like when he comes back and it like frames it.
I don't know about that. I just know like he picked up this cup and I was like, oh.
He was.
I was like, oh, okay.
He was that guy here. Like, oh, like I see what he's working on. And he like takes his jacket off, and you're like, oh, I see what you're working with.
It's undercover because he takes off the jacket. You're definitely an attractive guy, and then he goes to pick up that pen, and he's like,
but he has to flex every muscle while he does it.
Oh my god.
Okay, so obviously Sarah Michelle Gellar is our Bay of the Week, but
she really was the best.
In your opinion, without spoiling and going too deep into the rest of it, would you recommend this show?
I think here's a negative of the show is some of the acting is a little like some of the writing is a little but what I really do think is cool is I think the good thing about this show is the plot really is a really good plot once you really get deep into it and start trying to figure out, oh, this is what's going on. Because
there are some twists and turns.
Because him and I, when we talked about the ending and the twist, we both ended up at the same place. We took two completely different routes there.
Yes, exactly.
And my route made full sense. His route made complete sense as to how he got there.
And that's why the writing, I think, was good because you couldn't see some of the things coming.
Right. And there was a couple things where I didn't see coming, and I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting that. And then my brain was like, okay, now I'm trying to work this out. It's got to be these dots.
Yeah.
And then he was like, oh, no, it's definitely up here somewhere. We got to go down this hill.
Exactly.
And I was passing him. Like, we passed it like, hey, where are you going? and then we came
We haven't found that yet? What?
I was like, how'd you get over here? I came from that hill over there. You know, so it's like, where'd you get here? I just took that path through the woods, you know?
Exactly.
The road less traveled. But I think that a plot that does that is a lot better than a plot that wants to pull you in so many different directions that you're completely confused.
I agree.
This one, I think, has the correct amount of plot points. Mm-hmm. It is twisty enough to where it really does make you think.
It kept you guessing the whole time. Like it didn't just serve it to you on a silver platter.
Right. So I did. So all that to say, I do think it's a watch. I think it's a cool show. You could sit back and kind of just really just kind of like chill with and kind of live your Sarah Michelle Gellar fantasy.
Okay.
I will say that the fight scene at the end, I really wanted more. I wanted more Sarah Michelle Gellar fight scene at the end.
It was good.
But I was like, this bitch in these white fucking boots.
Okay.
These white boots.
I was going to talk to you about that after the show. But yes, them
boots are those are not standard issue.
Okay, if you are a detective and you might be going into a fire like an arms fight and you need to have mobility, you ain't wearing heels that are this tall.
But they probably quiet as hell. They leather.
But
they rubber.
And there's literally the rest of her entire outfit was black, and you're supposed to like be hiding. She had snow white boots on.
Mm-hmm. She did.
What?
And they was cute. They were cute boots.
But okay, I'm not.
She can do whatever she wants.
But okay, and this is a spoiler. Like the fight scene happened in like a garage for fire trucks. A, you can crawl under a damn fire truck. B, you could see her boots from anywhere in that entire facility if you looked under a damn fire truck.
Is it when her phone rang? I was like, she was like, hello. I'm like, do you like scary movies? Where are we? What movie did we stumble into? Like, what is this show?
I forgot that was Drew Barrymore.
I did get a little weird. Like the last episode was a little like, I was like, Okay, this is a little inconsistent, but
Okay.
but I'd still say watch. I still think it's a watch.
So with this show, I found it kind of. There were certain parts I found troubling to understand, like the ones where like you didn't know if you were in Everett's mind or Blake's mind, or like in a flashback, or like what you're seeing, if it's real. Like it kind of got a little convoluted in some of those.
I think later
it did, but it also the whole like Everett and Blake became wolves at the same time, but they almost did the whole Twilight, they imprinted on each other, which I get. Wolves are like pack animals.
I didn't get that.
But it's like we're each other's one. And like, because they would like, she'd have dreams about him, he'd have dreams about her. There's this whole like, we're doing chemistry and build up tension between them the whole time. And I don't know, like, I couldn't tell, like, are you in heat? Are you like imprinting and you're like, you've chosen each other as your one for your mate for the like, as part of the pack?
I think you're overthinking it.
Well, it just got confusing to me because I'm like, okay, what is this? Like, why were you like instantaneously attracted to each other and never saw anybody else and had daydreams where like you pictured, like when they're sleeping in like separate houses across the city, they would roll over and look at each other and see, like, it just was like, what does this play to the plot?
I think you're overthinking it a little bit, but I'm not gonna like.
So like there's like those small things in there. There was some very cringe acting. Like I said, the garage one where you howled. Like, Luna, come on now. It was just that, and I don't know.
Yeah, come for the hot boy bodies. Stay for Sir Michelle Gellar.
Yeah,
what is your thoughts? Sorry.
I hate to say it. I would say watch though. The plot got me, and the fact that the moment it was over, I had to go to my wife and explain what happened and be like, who the fuck was calling them this whole time? This no caller, right? Like, I want to see who this is. It could be a completely terrible plot point.
It left some questions, but like none of the questions are like making or breaking me. Not like, you know, I'm not
exactly
like it didn't leave us like it left us at a cliffhanger, but not like on one where it's like, what the fuck? Like,
well, and here's the thing, like, I think they tried too hard towards the end because it wasn't like they left you on a single cliffhanger. They made a point of Luna has a cliffhanger, Harlan has a cliffhanger, Everett has a cliffhanger, like Blake has a cliffhanger, Garrett, like, everybody has something that you don't know what's going to happen next. Cliffhanger moment.
Yeah, but I don't think that they drug on that because I honestly forgot that those four were even like had things that were still going on.
Well, like,
I was so into Michelle Gellar that I was just like, I forgot they were in it.
And my last point, and I want to see if you agree with this. This was Emily's take on it. She watched randomly different episodes. Like, she would watch like episode 1, then she came in episode 4, episode 6, and literally like she missed episodes. She goes, nothing's changed since I watched it 3 episodes ago. Like, it was moving so slowly. She's like, nothing has happened that was drastic. Like, she came in randomly. That was her take.
I don't know if I think that. I do think that like after episode 4, it really ramped.
Yeah, I agree with that.
It definitely ramped up after
on the back
episode
half.
4.
Mm-hmm.
But I expect that from a TV show.
Yeah.
And I really did like. I really think the back half was really the informational half.
It was.
It was fun. So
and then her other take was, she goes, for being obviously objectively hot teenagers that are sexed up, and some are supernatural beasts that would have probably more drive. She goes, these are very PG makeout sessions that they're having.
Oh no, there was the one where Harlan was with that guy with the car, and there was nudity in that one.
But like, that's the only one.
But I think they can't just always have that.
I mean, I get that, but like when Blake and like when Everett and Blake kiss, they're like, oh, okay, thanks, bye. And then like Harlan kissed a couple guys. Okay, cool. Luna had one kiss, and she was like, okay, like it was very controlled. And I get, like, it's not a romantic story.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was her, like, these are teenagers. Like, they want to jump each other's bones. Like, I'm not going to go in the woods.
Well, Harlan was. They just weren't showing it.
Harlan was, but nobody else was.
But maybe that's Harlan.
True.
I mean, you have to think Everett was, like, anxiety-ridden.
I agree.
So
this was her take. That's
say Blake was kind of like the same way, kind of like an introvert, you know.
Yeah.
Luna doesn't have a lot of friends, so I would expect those 3 to be the more demure of the 4.
Fair enough.
Harlan's I'm out here fucking.
Look, I want what I want, and I'm gonna get it.
I'm out here fucking.
So
cool.
But yeah, I would say
Awesome.
it's definitely a watch
Yeah.
because I want to know what happens next
Yay,
season.
you guys, get involved with some Michelle Gellar if you haven't.
I will say though, I would never have watched this show unless you had recommended what we do it for the review.
You guys, this was so like there was no reason we weren't going to do the show. No reason we weren't. Like, I mean, if Michelle Gellar's hand is in a shot, we're reviewing it.
Oh my god!
Just so you know, I don't give a shit.
Do you see who makes the calls on the shows for this that we
The
review?
only show we've done that the only show we haven't done that she was in was the new reincarnation on Netflix of He-Man.
I didn't know she was in that.
She was a voice in that.
Oh,
Yep.
okay.
Yep. So watch that as well.
All right.
All right, you guys. Well, you know what? Stay tuned for next week. Stay tuned for your stay tuned for your local news.
Are we back to weekly installments? That's I guess where we're going with that.
We are back to weekly. Stay tuned for next week. The Price is Right is up next.
News at 4.
News at 4. Chopper full. Deuces.
Bye. You've been listening to Watch or Not with Jay and MJ.
Interact and give us suggestions on what to watch at watchornotpodcast@gmail.com.
You can follow us on Twitter at watchornot_pod.
And don't forget about Instagram, you guys, at watchornotpod.
Don't forget you can support the pod by joining our Patreon at Watch or Not with Jay and MJ.
And subscribe and leave a review wherever you guys listen to podcasts. Talk to you soon.